eligibility of that now is one, the business has to be profitable. Two, the investment must be either $800,000 if it's in a targeted employment area, which is an
Let's go. Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurship Exposed with your guy Beez, where we are exposing everything related to the entrepreneurial industry with a twist of business acquisitions. And today, I think it's a special treat for you listeners, more so than even for myself, because what you're about to hear, it can change your life. It can change the game. It's an amazing concept. And I brought my Jamaican brother here, Mr. Sekou Clarke, attorney Sekou Clarke, to tell y'all more about it. Sekou, welcome, brother. How you doing, man?
Beez. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. Humbled and honored to be on your team, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And especially bringing a Yadi on here. I'm going to try to control myself so we don't get into the pata too hard or nothing, so that the people can understand us. But when we have, familiar ties like that, then things just go out the window.
Exactly.
But Sekou, you bro, I'll let you introduce yourself before I say everything I want to say. But when I saw some of your content, I was like, oh, I love what he's talking about. Then I was like, wait a minute, is it Yadi? And then that took everything to another level. So
next.
I love what you're doing, but introduce yourself. Tell the people more about you.
All right, well, again, the name is Sekou Clarke, Jamaican, born and raised. Came to the U.S. on a track and field scholarship to the University of Florida, Go Gators. Did my MBA, then law school, did professional track for a bit. But then after law school, went into personal injury, and then immigration law found me. And then after 1 year of working for two different firms, I decided to open up the Sekou Clarke Law Group, where we primarily focus on immigration and personal injury. Today, we are now open for 4 years, 4.5 years. We have our main office in Orlando, Florida. Then we have locations in Panama City Beach, Florida, and recently Kingston, and to come in 2022, Atlanta. Nice. And we started out from just family-based immigration. Then we added deportation. And then now, as of the last 3 years, we've been heavy into business immigration, business and work immigration, which investment immigration is under that umbrella. Outside of that, we do personal injury, civil lawsuits, anything that involves you getting injured somewhere. We can get that taken care of for you. Okay. It's been a great journey, great experience. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I have, outside of the law firm, several other businesses as well. We have Global Sports, which I'm a sports agent. Then we have Marketing, and a couple other businesses, but I'm an entrepreneur at heart. As you know, Beez, being an entrepreneur, you get excited about the chase. You get excited about the process. It's not really the goal. Yeah. So if I don't have something chasing, whether it's providing good results and good services for people, but I'm always chasing something, whether it's creating or trying to fulfill a need. That's who I am.
I love it. Listen, and it's funny because that was exact words I was going to say. I was like, listen, you're an attorney, but you're an entrepreneur more than anything. And, just your story showed me that right away. But I got to ask first, what made you leave professional track and field and then say, let me just go into law school?
It was just that time, as an athlete, you have a certain shelf life. And I just realized that it was my time to end. Track and field gave me everything that I could get out of it, which was an education, exposure to international travel and competition. That's what track and field gave me, and a huge global network.
There we go. I think that that part of your story is... All right, guys, before we get into the full episode of Entrepreneurship Exposed, I just want to take a moment to thank you all for supporting this channel. This channel means so much to me. You all mean so much to me because this information is the type of things that I wish that I knew when I was like 17 years old, right? We're talking about wealth creation strategies, not plays. Never talking about, hey, we could run this quick play to make some quick money. This is all about sustainable strategies that won't go anywhere. Whatever else you may be doing, this information will supplement it and help you take it to a whole nother level. So what I would love to ask each and every one of you is if you could like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, do all of that for me. It supports the channel, it helps us to grow, helps us to get this information out to more people so that we could change more lives. So thank you again for supporting. Make sure that whatever you see in here, whatever you learn in here, that you go and execute on it. And then drop a comment and let me know how it went out for you. Hopefully I'll even see you in the BBI where I teach how to acquire businesses and everything about entrepreneurship. Let's go. That part of your story is more powerful than you even realize because I know my son, my middle son, he's 15 now actually, just started high school and he's all about, I just want to be an athlete, right? Yeah. But an athlete needs to realize that there is that shelf life too, and you need to plan for. You're hopefully, God willing, you will be living way longer than that shelf life of the athlete athletic career. So having that what are you going to fall back on? What do you want to do after or concurrently while you're an athlete? I think that's an extremely important message to give out to the youth, and you lived it. Huge.
I come from Jamaican parents who also happen to be educators, so sports was always the way to open the door, but it had to coexist with education from high school through college to my MBA, because I did my MBA while I was competing. That was just ingrained in me, where the education had to coexist with sports. Like I've been doing that since I was 10 years old. So it's like literally a part of me. True that. Initially, it wasn't by choice. Yeah. Because my parents, they had to yeah. You know how it is with Caribbean parents. Them say, you're not going to run yourself unless you get these grades.
Exactly. So then, so now you transitioned into law school and on your path to becoming an attorney. And then you decided, but you said, no, it wasn't immigration law at first.
It was personal injury.
Personal injury at first. And then what made you really make that transition to immigration law?
It's funny, like I always tell new attorneys that, man, your passion practice, it will choose you, right? You will not choose it. It will choose you and it will find you. So when I was in law school, I always said I never wanted to be an immigration attorney. It's too cliche. It's too cliche for a Jamaican to be an immigration attorney, because I didn't think it was sexy enough. I used to watch Suits, and I didn't think.
Hey, that was my show. I love that.
So I went into personal injury law. That was when because I did a lot of internships with a former mentor of mine. So I automatically transitioned into that, and it was when I moved on from that first firm, and somebody hired me. I guess I was the token black guy for the firm, and say, hey, we want you to be a part of the personal injury department, but we wanted to also open up the immigration part. And I was like, all right, because back then, even though I was at a personal injury firm prior, I would do some immigration things on the side. But then when they brought me into this firm, on day one, they put big files in front of me for deportation cases, which I had zero experience in. Zero. So I'm going into immigration court, trying to stop people from getting deported with zero experience and zero knowledge, and it was sink or swim. So that's how I really got up my knowledge really, really quick. And then I just realized when I met a client, it was just automatic. I could connect with my clients both on a personal level, because I had immigration issues myself as well, and then from a professional standpoint. And then it just took off. It never felt like work. And they say, once you find a passion where it doesn't feel like work that you can monetize, that is part of your purpose.
Yes. So let me tell you my story on passion, right? Because it's ironic that we're having this discussion, and probably 30 minutes ago, before we started this recording, I was reviewing a skit that I'm not a skit. It's more just a reel that I'm going to be putting out soon. And in it, I was talking about passion, how a lot of times people come to me and they're like, oh man, Beez, I want to start a business. I don't know what to start. I just want to follow my passion. And then I would usually tell them, well, that's nice, but will your passion pay the bills? Exactly. Because maybe you should follow like a proven business model that you can get cash flowing first, and then use that cash flow to fund your passion, right? Yeah. However, as many people hear me say now, when you're acquiring a business, you can follow your passion right from the jump. You know what I mean? Because if you are going to acquire, you're passionate about golf, and you acquiring a golf club manufacturing company or something, it got cash flow right off the bat. It got employees, it got customers, it got, the tax returns, it built its business credit, everything right off the bat. So that's my belief when it comes to passion now, is that yes, you can jump right into your passion if you really want to, but I think that the business acquisitions make it easier than if you're starting from scratch. What are your thoughts on that?
I completely agree. And I mean, of course, my legal mind is saying, well, there's pros and cons. But I definitely believe that it's definitely, in terms of, from a acquisition standpoint, it's definitely beneficial to jump in where you have a business that's already proven cash flow, the financials are up and going, and you're not recreating a wheel, so that your time is way more efficient. You're just either making it better or you're just maintaining it, versus you diving in and having to build from the ground up. More time, more investment, higher cost, and the risk is higher. So I mean, I'm always about acquisition, especially if it's in a space or a business that you have some inclination or some knowledge about, but of course there are pros, because if you didn't do your due diligence, then you inherit something where you're just hemorrhaging cash. But I feel like the benefits, most times, if you do your due diligence, as you know, as a boss you are, acquisition is definitely the way to go.
And I love that you said that too, because there's a lot of times when I come across people and they try to skip steps. And they try to skip the financial and the legal due diligence. And I'm not going to say there's never a time that you may skip some legal due diligence. For example, if I'm acquiring a laundromat, maybe I'm not going to hire, my big guns attorneys to come in and dissect that. You know what I mean? It's not as, and especially if I'm not doing a stock purchase, I'm doing an asset purchase, so I'm not getting their LLC, and I'm not getting any of the associated liabilities with it. There's times, but in general, you shouldn't skip those steps, because that's when you can end, especially on the financial side, the financial due diligence. Don't skip those, because that is going to be your bread and butter going forward, and you want a good situation to be getting into rather than a bad one.
Especially in this day and age, Beez, where you have sophisticated choppers. Scammers. These scammers nowadays are so sophisticated, man, where it's crazy. I mean, I just saw in Jamaica the other day, the scammers were able to sell land and have structures developed, and they didn't own any of it.
I shouldn't even laugh. I know that I'm not surprised.
And that has happened in the US as well. So due diligence is key, man. There's a certain steps you cannot skip, and there's some shortcuts that is definitely not worth taking.
Definitely. Okay, so now we gotta get into the true sauce, right? The true curry sauce, the true jerk sauce, and that is the EB5 Visa program. Tell the people what that really is.
Man, the EB5, it's been really, really hot right now, especially as of August 2022, since they have the government has now supported and opened up the direct investment. So what the EB5 program allows is for an immigrant, a non-US national, they are able to invest in original project or a business. And with that investment, they are able to get a green card at the end, right? So the eligibility of that now is 1, the business has to be profitable. 2, the investment must be either $800,000 if it's in a targeted employment area, which is an area where there's high unemployment. But if it's in a regular metropolitan area, you have to invest $1.05 million, right? So once you invest that $1.05 million, and you can have a business plan that will show that that business will employ, or I should say, create 10 jobs for U.S. citizens or U.S. permanent residents, and that job, that investment then now qualifies you for a green card. And as you know, the green card, after having it for 5 years, you can now become, you are now eligible for U.S. citizenship. So that is where it's at right now. It's the EB5, and then in today, it's such a hot topic, Beez, because especially for immigrants, because of what is happening globally, right? The pandemic really squeezed a lot of economies. Then you add a war in Europe, so now you have a lot of governments are going through changes of power, and when that happens, and what we have seen is you have more pro-socialist governments. So what that means is you have more governments now, especially in South America, where they are more, the rich shall give to the poor. So then now what you're having is people are like, nah, man, we can't have that. Let us move our assets. Let us try to invest in the US, because if it's one country that has, I mean, most people don't see it. If it's one country that has thrived during the pandemic, and it's the US. The US dollar is beating up everybody right now. You know, so having your business in the US, invested in the US, you have a better chance of leaving it in a country that is not a first world country. So it's a great tool. It's a great vehicle for you to either just make some money, then move to the US, or move to the US and kick back and make some money and have your money work for you.
Yes. I love it. And let's address that, what just popped up right there about creating 10 jobs for U.S. permanent residents. Does it have to be 10 new jobs, or if you're acquiring a business and it already has 10 employees, does that now qualify because it's continuing to employ them?
A really good question. So it has to be 10 new jobs. Could not have been existing jobs. It has to be 10 new jobs.
Do they have a timeline where in order to achieve that, or like you have to create those 10 new jobs within 1 year or something like that?
Yeah, so you have 2 years to create those new jobs. So the way how it is procedurally is, once you make the investment, right, and you provide a business plan, there are certain itemized things that you have to show, but the big ones is the investment, the business plan, and how the business will make money. Once you do that, you get a conditional green card, right, for 2 years, right? So you'll be able to get that green card after your investment within 6 months. You'll be able to get a conditional green card. You're able to move to the US and move your spouse and children under 21. But at the 2-year mark now, you then have to show that you did employ 10 people, right? They have to be full-time. They have to be W-2, right? And you have to show that the business is making money. Once you satisfy those primary requirements, then you are able to get a permanent green card for 10 years.
Nice. And then after 5 years of the permanent, you have a path to applying for citizenship as well.
Yeah, so automatic. So once you have had that green card for an aggregate, including when you had the conditional green card, you are able to have total of 5 years, then you are eligible for U.S. citizenship.
Wow. That's an amazing program, right? Yeah. I mean, people are always looking for a pathway to get into the U.S. in different ways to, get to citizenship, and now it's just laid out there for them just like that. I love this. I love this, man. And most people, when I came across it, and obviously in my industry of buying businesses, mergers and acquisitions, that was a perfect match. It's like, wait, I'm buying businesses regularly, different ones that I can also scale, ones that qualify for the EB5 Visa program. Now, the next thing was, how do I find those potential investors, right? And partnering with someone like Attorney Clarke and his law firm, you might be able to help those potential investors. Am I correct?
Absolutely, 100%.
Nice. Is there a country or countries or a region that you would say is better for those who are aware of this and have the disposable income and are trying to get that citizenship through the EB5 program?
Well, I mean, what we've been seeing now, most of our EB5 potential clients, they're coming from South America. Like they're coming from Colombia, Chile, Peru, Brazil. And again, those are the countries that just recently had a change of government. So where the government is taking most of their assets.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't mention China, because I know China try to buy up like everything everywhere.
Yeah, they are consistently the heavy users of the EB5.
Of course.
Consistently, like since the beginning of the program, they have been the most consistent. So,
but the shift now, you're seeing more from South America.
Yeah.
What about the Caribbean?
The Caribbean, what I've realized with the Caribbean is more educated in the Caribbean. Most Caribbean countries and most Caribbean people don't know. So that has been a mission of mine for the last 2 quarters, is to really educate, especially the Jamaicans, that, to know that such a procedure exists, because there's just a culture that there's only certain ways exclusively to get a green card, which is family based.
Yeah. True. And there again is breaking the conditioning, right? Because even in some of the things that I hear you saying right now, it's weird to me, because Jamaica, in my opinion, is founded in entrepreneurship, right? Everybody is a little hustle, a little something they're doing, right? Which is entrepreneurship, but you do need to make that transition from being that hustler to being more of a full businessman. Of course, that's the ones who could take it to that next level. They make that transition successfully. Yeah. But even with that mindset of hustling and always, making money instead of working for someone, you can figure out ways to make money on your own. Even with that mindset, Jamaica in particular is still limited in many things. Like the culture believes that debt is bad, credit is bad, right? Yeah. Which is not true. There's good debt and bad debt. You have to know how to use it right. Correct. And I was raised, and I'm sure you could probably attest to this too, I was raised in a way that's like, if you don't have the money, you don't buy it. Right? Yes. If you don't have the cash, you don't buy it. Whereas using a credit card with the right type of investments, I'm not talking about to go buy, Versace shirts and them things. I'm talking about if you're using it for something that's going to cash flow, an asset that's going to produce cash flow for you. And especially if you use it in a way where you get 0% interest credit card for 20 months. And now you go get that asset with it, and then it's cash flowing, so it pays it back before interest even hitting you. That's smart debt, right? So changing the mindset of the community in the Caribbean is definitely a goal of mine. And I think it aligns with what you're doing, because it's important for people to see, we can achieve these things as well. Absolutely.
And then one thing I wanted to notate, I know the EB5, of course, is for a certain class of people, because the investment is 800K or $1 million, right? But there's also another popular one that we do, which is the E2 visa.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that next. You jump right to it. Right. Tell us about the E2.
All right, so the E2 visa, it doesn't come with that big price tag or a required investment. So what the investment is, it has to be relatable to the business. So we've done E2 visas where the investment in the business is 80K. Like we've done restaurants, spas where the investment is 150K, and you have to show that the business will be profitable. It cannot be marginal, and you have to employ 3 U.S. citizens or permanent residents in order to be eligible for the E2. The difference is that you do not get a green card, but what you do get is you do get an E2 visa. So what the E2 visa does, It allows you to live in the US, work in that business. Your spouse will be able to work and go to school. Your children will be able to go to school, and you can stay here for as long as you want. So you have to renew that visa every 3 years, as long as the business is still eligible. So I mean, I have clients who have been on that E2 visa, renewing it for a decade.
Oh wow!
You know,
I knew about the E2 program, but didn't know those specifics there. And that is, you can renew it in perpetuity, basically, as long as the business is still active.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. So I mean, that works for a lot of people, but they only set back that as the people they start to realize is that, you know, there's no transition to
the citizenship,
to our green card. But we've been able to find creative strategies for E2 people. Like, say for instance, so like one client we did, I think we were able to, I think it was like it was some type of medical facility that they acquired. So the husband and wife got it, but the wife, she had, I think she had like a master's in some type of medical field. So because she had that, we were able to qualify her as a specialized employee for the business, right? And have the business petition for her as a specialized worker, where she got her green card. Then obviously once she got the green card, then her husband automatically got it. So that's like the long way. But one thing I like doing is coming up with a strategy, short term or long term, once you have that goal of getting the green card.
I love it, man. That makes sense. And you know, are there any other programs? If I'm correct, there's a bunch of E programs related to immigration, I think.
Yeah, so you have EB1s, so that is more individual, you know, so it's based off if you have like an advanced degree and you're specialized in a certain field, then a business can petition for you based on that ability. Or if you're an entertainer or if you're an athlete of international recognition, then you can petition for the EB1. And you have some other EBs, but or E-visas, but they're mainly based on a business petitioning for you and that business having a labor certification.
Nice. I love it. And is there a requirement, and in particular with the EB5, but is there a requirement to say that, okay, that amount that they're investing in, they should own 100% of the company, or it does no kind of requirement in terms of the equity percentage, things like that?
Good question. So with the EB5, there's no equity requirement. But with the E2 there is. So with the E2, you have to be, I like using 51% ownership of that new or existing business.
Oh, okay. With the E2.
With the E2. But with the EB5, there's no percentage requirement. But there's still that requirement of the job creation of that business and the actual investment amount.
Good. So if it was a $5 million valued company and somebody's investing that $1 million in the EB5, they're good to go. No requirement of being 50% or more equity. Correct. Perfect buy-in. Okay, I love it. This is an amazing opportunity. Yeah, right. I mean, on both sides, because the U.S. business can have a steady stream of investors potentially, right? Absolutely. And then these foreign investors, foreign nationals, have a path to citizenship. It's a win-win solution situation. Okay.
Completely agree. You're creating a business. You are fulfilling a need for people living in the U.S. to consume that product or service.
Nice.
Right.
Okay, so it's time we go into. No, go ahead.
No, so there's one more which I think could be considered for business acquisitions as well, and it's an L1. So, but it's a little bit different. It's more business. It leans more to your business. So, if you have an existing business, like say you have a spa in Jamaica, right, and you could acquire a spa in the US, right? Yeah, you could acquire it as a subsidiary business, and then you could move your executive and supervising employees on an L1 visa that then later converts to a green card.
Wait, you could move them from your original location in Jamaica all into the new acquisition that you made, which is a subsidiary of the original one, and now all of them get a path for citizenship as well?
Correct, but it's only for executive and executive level positions.
Gotcha. But that is very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing in Jamaica? Like, because I got to talk about Jamaica too, because that's the two of us, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing in Jamaica to promote this program more, to get people involved in it more? Are you focusing on Jamaica at all, and like setting up shop there to let to try to get a steady stream of people this opportunity?
Absolutely. So with the firm in Jamaica, I realized the market is different than in the US. So what I had to pivot to is just really going after or targeting, I should say, business clientele who want to bring their businesses here or invest, athlete and entertainers. Of course, I still do the family base, but the primary target now from an immigration standpoint is through business investment, athlete and entertainers. So now I go there once a month. I have a partner there as well. But when I go there, I have meetings, seminars with either business owners, athletes, different people to more educate. Then that's when they start scheduling consultations, etc. So that is what I've been doing for the past since we opened 6 months.
Wow, man. Ooh, I got so many questions. I'm trying to keep it contained. I love this, man. What you're doing is amazing. And I think it's just a pathway to so much more, because I always say that acquiring a business is the true path to creating generational wealth.
100%.
And I know there's other things that you want to couple it with. You want real estate. You want the financial markets, like your stock portfolio, your crypto and things. But the business acquisitions give you, in my opinion, not even opinion, in fact, the highest success rates and the highest returns, right? 7 to 10% ROI in the stock market is considered pretty great, right? Now, mind you, if you buy in while it's on discount right now during this recession and wait for 5-10 years, you're going to have a higher return too over time. But the same 7 to 10% in the same duration in the stock market, I could get 80% or higher in business acquisitions. And that's what I've been getting so far, right? Yeah. So this is definitely a pathway to not just making, comfortable living, but if you want to go all out, this is what Warren Buffett does.
Yeah.
This is what Elon Musk is doing with Twitter right now. He's buying out Twitter because it's good to acquire media companies, and Twitter is the new media, right? So this is changing lives that you're helping to facilitate it with foreign investors, especially. But now they're acquiring businesses. I know the purpose is to get the citizenship, but now you're also building wealth too through it. So
exactly.
Nice.
And it's a way how to laterally grow.
Yeah, definitely. So now it's time we have to pop this world of EB5 Visa acquisitions, right? So as you know, it's time to pop, where we're going to talk about the pros of the EB5 Visa program and acquiring businesses through it. We're going to talk about the opportunities that are coming into the industry, the world, or whatever, that why you would want to jump on something like this from the investor side or from the U.S. business side that would take on the investment. And then finally, I think the most important, let's talk about what the problems are that people need to be aware of if they're getting into EB5 Visa acquisitions. So let's start with the pros. Tell me what you think.
All right. So the pros, definitely, it is a path to, one, acquire U.S. citizenship and or permanent resident, and to also acquire a business where you will, more than likely make money, grow your portfolio, or even work in that business. So you get a double whammy benefit. You get an immigration benefit, right, for you and your family. And then you also get a financial benefit as well. So those are the pros. There's no other vehicle like that.
Definitely. All right. So then now, what are the opportunities, new things that are coming in, and why people need to jump on this right away?
All right. So the big thing that I've been doing right now, I've been working with a lot of real estate professionals. I've had 3 different real estate groups fly us out to my team to Colombia, to Chile, to where we are presenting to real estate, where we're presenting with real estate professionals. Because, say for instance, if you acquire a piece of property, we're able to assist you with converting it to an EB5. So say it's $1 million, you acquire 1 property or 3 properties that reach to the $1 million mark, then we're able to create a property management company for you that would be the business that would create the 10 jobs to manage that property and show that it is a business. So that's the opportunity right now, especially in this market, is real estate with EB5s.
Oh man, that's
been my firm sauce right now.
Wow.
Really jumping on the real estate portion of the game with the EB5s.
So here's, I'm gonna give you another little aspect of this, right? More so now than ever, especially in the last year. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me take a step back. I think I might have told you before that I love to focus on motivated sellers when I'm acquiring a business, right? Yeah. And my favorite type of motivated sellers are retirees, right? So right now, baby boomers, which there's 12.5 million of them that have businesses, all baby boomers are retiring this decade, right? So that just opens up the floodgates for me. Now, what I've been seeing now is that a lot of those retirees who the tsunami has started now, they're all trying to retire and trying to sell their companies. A lot of them have real estate that's owned in the business, right? And in most cases, completely paid off. They own it free and clear now because they're retirees, baby boomers. A lot of them been operating in their business for 30 plus years or whatever. So the real estate is paid off. Now, when you acquire that business, depending on how you do it, because you could do it the traditional way with the SBA 7A loan, etc. But if you do leverage buyouts, which is what I do and also teach, leverage buyouts, now it's allowing me to acquire real estate with the business and not have to go get a mortgage. Maybe through seller financing and other creative deal structures. I'm just paying the seller through different methods, and I'm getting real estate that I could then keep, sell, whatever I want to do, plus a cash flowing business. Yeah. It's insane right now. The opportunity is just like astronomical.
And that's a great point with the baby boomers. Now is it's like the perfect storm for an investor.
Yes.
You have the baby boomers, you have they call it mild recession, which is upon us. So, I'm estimating between now and the next 6 months, from now to Q2 of 2023, you will have phenomenal real estate opportunities and business opportunities to really jump in and expand your portfolio and also get an immigration benefit.
Ooh, okay. Well, okay. Now we got to get the negatives in now, right? And I don't even love to call them negatives. They're challenges. They're hurdles that we have to overcome. As an entrepreneur, I know you know how that is. We don't look at any negative. We look at it as a lesson that we learned and how can we grow from it. So what are the problems when it comes to the EB5 visa program and acquisitions through it?
Okay, so the problem with the EB5 visa programs and the acquisitions that come through it is, one, not doing proper due diligence, and you invest in a business, $800 or $1 million, and then you don't get the expected return. You don't get the expected return, or the business does not perform or you're anticipating it to perform, and then for some reason you didn't employ the right amount of employees, and then you've now lost that investment. And then you don't get the immigration benefit, or you get the immigration benefit, but then the business tanks, and then you are out a certain amount of money. So that is why they had the regional centers, because it's somewhat protected your investment, but the return would be significantly less. But now they're allowing, because they had direct investment before, where you can just invest straight into any business, but then the investor wasn't protected. But now they brought it back, where you can direct invest into businesses. So it's just up to that investor to really do their proper due diligence, because you won't get the money back. Because with the EB5 and the E2, that investment has to be at risk, and it has to be irrevocable, meaning you can't take back the money.
Yeah, makes sense. And would you say also putting in proper, you kind of alluded to it though, you're putting in the proper management in place to grow the business? Because correct. I'm looking at a nightclub acquisition right now, and even if there was no growth opportunities in it, significant growth opportunities in it, it's still a good investment at the cost that it is going for right now, for the discretionary earnings that's in it. And I could acquire it and I'll be just happy that I'm getting paid out at this level if I don't even grow it at all. But that would never work for EB5, because you have to grow it in order to hire those 10 additional jobs, right? And it's going, having the right management in place is going to be essential for you to meet that requirement.
Correct.
Right? So that makes sense. That's something that overall you got to really be careful of, not just the due diligence, but the management in place if it's not yourself. 100%
agree.
Okay. And any other major problems that you would say with the program?
Not with the program. I mean, it's just making sure that you're eligible and you have a good attorney that is sorting it out for you.
And I recommend Sekou Clarke Law Group.
100%.
There we go. Now, Sekou, I know I already know the answer to this, but I gotta ask it for the people. As an entrepreneur, as an investor yourself, you've acquired things. Will you continue to buy businesses yourself?
100%. It's 100%. It's almost like an addiction.
Yes.
It's almost like an addiction. Like, I had to cut myself off this year. I was like, all right, you're at your limit. You have to know how to say no. Make sure that the ones that you have in the bag right now, they're cash flow positive, everything is up and smooth, and you can project your returns. Because then you take on more and you cannot really monetize properly. And then you tie up all your cash. So yes, definitely we'll be acquiring more. I mean, as I said, I got my MBA before I became an attorney. So business is my passion. Business is my passion.
And so let's answer this question that we have from the audience real quick. Are you able to help U.S. companies with incorporation in other countries?
No.
Okay,
No, because that would be the immigration for that particular country. I can only help with the immigration laws for the U.S.
Got you. That makes sense. Okay, good to know. Good question. Definitely asked. Oh man, Sekou, listen, there's so much more I want to go down. I think I'm gonna have to have you back on here again to go deeper.
Next one, I can come there and be on in person and we'll chat with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
We gotta do that, man, because this conversation is too critical. I definitely would love for you to come speak to my community of other investors that are acquiring businesses, because we could all use your help. We could all work with you, and we gotta make it enticing for your clients why they would want to invest with us, because there's plenty of investments for them, right?
Yeah.
So
actually, I mean, I don't know if this is appropriate, but it's always appropriate if it's business.
For sure.
So we're actually going to an international location here shortly to present available businesses to invest in to a group of investors. So if Beez or anyone in your network, they have a business that they want to send to us to see if it's a business that we would want to present as well, send it to us with a pitch deck or a flight deck of the business, the financials, how it's done, and what it would take to be either a 50% owner or to show that it is an EB5 ready business. Let's link up, let's connect to get that in our group of companies that we are about to present.
I have a long list that I can give you because I'm talking to different.
Send me if you have pitch decks ready and flight decks ready.
Yeah.
Send them over.
Okay. What date is it? Well, no, don't tell me this later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. We're gonna talk some more about this, man. But hey, Sekou, I don't even know what to ask next because there's so many questions that I got. But this is just amazing. This is, I see a comment says, this is 100% a video to watch several times over. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm gonna go back and watch this again myself. But this is awesome, man. And I'm super excited, especially because another Yardie that's doing big things and helping not just our people back at Yard, but globally helping people to find a pathway to wealth and to citizenship. Definitely keep up the great work, man. You picked a very good profession, or it picked you.
It picked me.
And we're blessed to have you in it because you're gonna help a lot of people, man. So appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you
trying to scoop up all the investors. That's right.
I just love seeing like-minded individuals. Yeah, especially Yardies, just going after it and not just settling for the bare minimum or relegating to the ceilings that they try to create for us or the box that they try to put us in. So I love it, man. Love it. Love what you're doing. Love that you're not just keeping the knowledge for yourself and you're sharing it and trying to diminish that whole crab in a barrel thing. Everybody can eat a food. Everybody can eat. And if you're a Caribbean or minority, there's no reason why you cannot be successful in this country because you are born with this internal grind mode.
Yes.
So let's get it, man. Love seat, man. Love your work.
Same here, man. Trust me. Yeah, listen, well, first of all, was everything okay for you in Central Florida during the hurricane time?
Yeah, so a lot of communities around us had some major problems, but thankfully the community that I live in, there was no issues, no flooding, no power outages. So, we're really blessed. Some people weren't as blessed, but very thankful that most people made it through.
Good. I don't know when UCF homecoming is this year. It might be next week or something, but I might come up with that thing. So maybe we'll link up that time too.
All right. You have to make me know and you can come on my podcast, man.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. Definitely. Right. I look forward to it.
And you'll be in the question seat this time.
There we go. Let's go. Well, Sekou, tell the people how they can get in touch with you, how they can utilize your services. Okay,
so it's at Attorney Sekou across all social media platforms. For the law firm, it's ClarkeLawGroup.com. And don't forget, it's Clarke with an E. Or you can send an email to service@sclarkelaw.com.
All right, that's what's up. And we'll make sure we put all of that information down in the description so you guys can see it. Sekou, thank you so much for coming on to Entrepreneurship Exposed, where you help us to expose the EB5 Visa acquisition program and opportunity and so much more for people to learn. I really appreciate it, brother, and looking forward to working with you more.
Okay, likewise. Send me the thing, them.
Yeah,
man. All right, Tom.
All right, my brother. Well, everybody, another episode of Entrepreneurship Exposed. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you like every episode. And when you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, you will get notified of all episodes so you don't miss information like this. Make sure you're following us on YouTube and all podcast streaming platforms. And I'll see y'all on the next episode.